And that's a wrap. Hi creators, performers and actors out there. Just finished recording an amazing conversation with great and super talented actor Will Roberts out of Los Angeles, California. And the topic that we touched upon today was about acting in the world, those modern times, and how we can use modern technology to sell ourselves in a more efficient way, to get that self-awareness and really drive forward, push forward whenever you need to, and also on how to stay constantly driven towards your peak performance. How do you achieve that, to really find that motivation day by day, and how to survive in the struggle we call entertainment biz, and creating all those amazing performances inside of the room every time we get called to action. So join me on this great conversation. It's over an hour talk. I have to edit stuff out, but overall it's, I think, a great dialogue between two professionals, situated on both sides of the ocean, talking about their experience over here in Europe, talking about the experience of being an actor in the United States, and what we can deliver to the performers, actors and creators out there in order to really drive your performance, to boost your behavior delivery every day better and better. So join me on this talk and let's see what's cooking. Hi everybody, I'm super thrilled and pumped to have amazing actor Will Robertos. He's there, he's incredible, joining us tonight. He wants to fulfill his deeds for community service, and he's joining us.
So I'm picking up garbage right now as I'm doing this.
Right, the old leaves from the ground. The globe, guys. How are you? How are you, my friend?
I'm awesome. I'm good.
Good.
Here in Hollywood, California area, and you're where you are, which is really, I don't want to take off on our subject yet, but it's pretty amazing that you and I have been doing this for quite some time, and I don't know how we just met up, but
eventually it happened.
Yeah, but the bottom line is that it's amazing that you can have this technology, and we could be speaking from across the globe.
True.
And in the middle of the night or whatever, and giving people educations that they normally would be paying a lot of money.
A lot of money. Actually, how do you determine the value of an actor? How do you determine what somebody's actually worth? It's experience, right? It's his whatever his knowledge is. So. And that's for actors, it's crucial. So we're, giving out for free, because we're such good guys, these beautiful advices and yes.
You know what? I want to throw this in. You said, how do you determine? And it just came to my mind, consistency. We've been doing this. You've been doing this since when?
Since I'm 12, so 30 years now.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 38. So I just want to say that, in the course of our time, we've been actors together in this universe. I've seen a lot of people that I've gone, wow, that's awesome, they got a break, and they really are very new at this, and they look good, and we all know that this business is extremely shallow, and one day you could be a plumber, the next day, or a construction worker, and the next day you could be Han Solo.
True.
And, you could have a career.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily, and we talked about this earlier, you and I in a chat online, which is, you don't have to have an education, you don't have to have a degree, you don't have to have a lot of things in the world of acting. You just really, you should have some consistency and some training.
You have your stuff, you have your beautiful passions and hobbies, you have a lot of skills, a lot of shows, you're a Guinness Book record holder twice, so... But so what is really success? But because I think people also sometimes are bailing acting because for them success ultimately just means the billboard. But actually, if you break it down, what really success means is just to have that fulfilled life, living out of it, of course. Getting the chance to maybe do some fancy things once in a while, but really sharing your passion, sharing your talents in front of an audience that will eventually clap their hands for you and your performance. I mean, that is great, isn't it?
In the beginning, I was like, I want to be famous.
Right.
I want to be rich.
Right.
I want to be a star.
Right.
And I still want that, but I can find solace and enjoyment off of not being a Jim Carrey.
Right.
Or
triple A class star, right? I mean, there's nothing bad at aiming at success. There's nothing bad like wishing yourself and your family some success and some wealth and some fame is all good. There's nothing bad about it. But eventually, if it doesn't turn up like big time, like scoring that ultimate jackpot, it still is worth fighting for. Like this art, this craft, this life is still worth fighting for, and still beautiful if you manage to, extract all those crazy and beautiful things that you can learn, all those experiences, and use them like for your life.
It's easy to go crazy in this business because if you say, and look, I am absolutely probably the most tenacious and aggressive person you've ever met, and I say that in a positive way. But I will tell you that when you go in and you go in and you're doing 5-6 auditions a week,
right,
and you're going in for a minute,
right,
and people come out, when I come out of the auditions on social media, they go, how'd it go? And I go, I don't know. What? They go, well, the audition you just did, I don't know, I left it. And the bottom line I want to say about that is that trying to achieve a goal of absolute stardom like maybe Marilyn Monroe or Elvis Presley is awesome, and it's great. And I don't believe that I ever believe that I'm going to be less. I know I'm going to be absolutely phenomenally famous. However, I also know that from a mental health standpoint, that if I continuously let it bother me,
right?
Because look, right now I'm pounding on my agent's door, going, "What the is going on? It's pilot season, and I've had 3 things in the last 3 weeks." I mean, and he's like, "Well, there's 2,000 people going after it." Well, go after more for me,
right?
But if I don't find the common ground of what I want to do, and that I'm not going to be there right away, you can kill yourself.
Correct me on that, but like throughout my life so far, like 30 years of acting, I always found, okay, of course there were some roles that I auditioned for and I thought, damn it. But afterwards, it always kind of turned out to be the right thing. If I didn't get that role because there was another huge project waiting for me, or I had to meet somebody super important in my life, or I had to do another little thing maybe, but then that thing turned out to be something major. So
again, if you go in and say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you're just being unrealistic, because look, I might be perfect for the role in my mind, but when I walk in and they see it, they go, well, that was phenomenal. A really quick story.
Sure.
I had an audition recently for a big, huge commercial, and they auditioned in December, and they called me back 4 times. I've never had that happen on a commercial audition. But the reason why is I went into the casting director's office like on the 3rd time, and she's like, he loves you.
He just wants to see you over and over again.
The director is trying to create a role for you.
Beautiful.
Because they want you to be in the spot.
Right.
And ultimately, I lost it over an African American. Now, it is what it is, man. The fact is that, look, I'm middle-aged, I hate to say that, middle-aged white guy, and that's not as popular as it used to be. But the bottom line, again, is that I can't beat myself up because I can't be another ethnicity, and I can't beat myself up because when I left, she said, you're phenomenal. I went, oh, that's awesome. So maybe someday we'll meet again. And maybe you won't. But the job that you and I do is help people get consistent and make their odds better. That's it.
Beautiful. Let me pick you up on that, because relating to our topic tonight is the way I feel it over there in the States is you do way more auditions, especially like during pilot season, and it's way quicker. It's also sometimes there are oscillations regarding your hiring frequency that is based on things that are outside of our control. Let's say, styles that are, en vogue, or, color of the skin, political issues that get like the advantage over other stories, stuff like that. It's less in Europe that way. And, because we have more basic and conventional orthodox told stories. But that is like a huge difference. You guys audition more, and you guys are way more under the condition of fashion and trends and styles.
I would probably kill myself in another country because the best analogy I could give you is that it's like being in a NASCAR race here and being in a bike race there. I would be going, oh, dude, let me just run alongside the bike. I know I can get this thing to go faster.
Right.
Because we are trained in this country, and especially in this specific geographical area of Hollywood,
right.
to, you know, we're like, I've got 15 different things going on at once, trying to make it happen.
I love it that way too.
It's like Wall Street.
Right. I get the because I'm shooting a lot like TV series, so I'm you know, I have a bunch of scenes, a bunch of shots during the day. And whenever I'm shooting, like when I get the chance to be on a cinematography set or like shooting like big movies, feature movies, I have to wait all day, and it's like excruciating. I can't stand it because here I'm like 12 hours work straight, and I love it. I'm warm and the engine is rolling, but I'm totally getting what you're saying. Like, it's way better to work a lot and be under the, you know, the constant, yes, it is a pressure, but it's a creative pressure. I mean, your brain is forced to have output, to create content, to think about yourself and improving your skills. And that's something that I miss over here in Europe, where people, you know, they tend to be more orthodox when it comes to changes or implementing new ways of creating and working, and also implementing modern technologies like we're doing right now. So that is beautiful to look over there and also work with you guys, because it's really motivating. On the other hand, what I love about Europe is style and this old-fashioned way of telling stories. It's so unique because it's the core principles of telling stories, right? It's the mythological clash, and so sometimes
we're turning and burning. We're turning and burning.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 20, 30 years ago, I would be going, why isn't my agent calling me? Man, I got to go by and visit. Or why am I not on the top of the wall and I'm on the bottom?
Right.
You know, those things are so, you can really control what we had 20 years ago this much. Now, my agents and my managers call me up and go, why do you need us? And I'm like, I'm not totally sure.
Yes.
Because you can keep your mind busy by not just thinking about this business as a creative thing, but as a business.
As a business. You have to be your own agent no matter what. We have to sell ourselves as creative people nowadays. We have to make sure people really get the idea of what we're really deploying, what we're doing.
I tell this to people all the time when I'm coaching them. I say, can you shoot? Can you edit?
Right.
Can you host? Can you read off a teleprompter? Can you do social media?
Right.
Can you do marketing? Do you understand what a contract looks like? And if you said no to any one of those, you just paid someone.
Right.
And no offense, but when you're an actor, we're poor as a church mouse. And someone says, look, I need a demo reel, but I need it specifically to be da-da-da-da. And you're like, oh, man, I got to find someone online, and then they're going to take my... I don't know what clips. And you don't know what you're looking for in your clips. And you've got video of other people in your scene talking instead of you. These are things that if you don't know these things, you are putting yourself back so far in the chain and not going to achieve your goal unless you're out there like a Bill Murray and you're running around going the whole time. Right. And people are looking at you going, that person's insane. Damn right.
Damn right he is.
Damn right I am.
Yes.
But there's a reason why I'm insane. You got to have morals, ethics, and values.
Right.
But there's a reason why people say that they go, you're aggressive. I'm like, damn right. Because guess what? Tomorrow, when I need to pay my bills, I ain't going to someone saying, hey, boss, can I get an advance? I'm the boss. I'm the guy that gets paid. Tell me, what do you do?
I entertain the world.
Great. And you say that looking me straight in the eyes. A lot of the people that we know and we coach, they do this. Ask me what I do.
Can you tell me what you do?
Well, I'm an actor. Really? Really?
That's too aggressive, dude. That's way too aggressive. When you're coaching people and, you know, they just sort of complain or, you know, have those struggles, it's like, what is your first key? What is the first thing that you usually teach? What is it? The first approach that you try to bring over to those guys? My
first thing I tell anybody coaching, unfortunately, I believe that people either excel because they've been beaten down or they've been pumped up in life. My wife is a great example. She grew up in a great family. They were in Seattle. They did well. Her dad worked in broadcast. And so everything that she did, they went, oh, you're awesome. My family was literally and physically, beating us down and saying you're nothing. And I basically took that and changed it. Now, that's the first thing I tell people is learn how you learn.
Yes.
The second thing I tell them is it's my way or the highway. There's no other way. I mean, if you want to come to me and say, look, I'm trying to do this, and you want to say to me with that, well, I heard someone else say, go to someone else.
Right.
You're here with me.
Right.
And I'm telling you my success because you came to me. If you came to me from a referral or you came to me because you liked what I was doing, you liked my passion,
right,
then listen to me,
right,
or don't.
Right.
But don't waste my time or your time because there's not a lot of time in our world.
Unfortunately.
We can get anything back, but we can get money back guarantee on almost anything. But you can't get it on life and time.
I always tell people you have to behave like a bridge. Right, there is no middle point in the bridge. It's just me and the other part of the cliff. That's where you need to get. Be like a bridge, straight connection to your goals, and forget everything else. No plan B. If I'm, let me just shout out all the German fans, all the American fans. Hallo, es ist wunderbar, dass ihr alle da seid. Wir reden heute mit amazing actor Will Roberts direkt aus Los Angeles über Schauspielerei, über sich selber zu verkaufen heute in diesen modernen Zeiten und auch wirklich Zeit zu haben, ganz großartige Dinge zu üben, zum Beispiel wie diese Kanone so zu schwingen, meine Damen und Herren. Das kann nämlich nur Will Roberts. Er ist zweifacher Weltrekordhalter im Guinness-Buch der Rekorde, auch die meisten Menschen in einem Lassoseil eingefangen zu haben. Es ist also ziemlich unglaublich, was der Herr da alles kann. Seit 38 Jahren Schauspieler und es ist eine große Ehre, ihn hier zu haben. Falls ihr Fragen habt, falls euch irgendetwas interessiert an unserer Karriere, an unseren Ratschlägen, irgendetwas, was Entertainment Industry ausmacht, zum Beispiel solche Sachen zu können, dann fragt sie einfach jetzt. Wonderful. Wonderful, man. Wonderful piece of skill right there. I'm sure you had this point in your life where eventually you thought about quitting. Did you ever experience that, like where you had there was maybe like a major, like a trauma, whatever it was, and then you said, maybe I should start thinking about like coming back to the bridge and coming back to there are no second choices, there is no plan B. How did you find, what was the triggering effect of overcoming that point?
A lot of times in those cars, broken down or whatever, crying. I mean crying. Mm-hmm. In my car saying, why not me? Mm-hmm. Why not me? Mm-hmm. And again, that's the thing I tell people all the time. If you don't wake up every day and say, why not me? Mm-hmm. And try to figure out how to become the me that you want to be.
Very powerful.
Then listen, get out.
Get out. Right. Get out. Right.
So my moment, I have to be quite honest with you with this answer and say, there wasn't a moment in my 38 years. Matter of fact, I was one of those kids that my mom said, when you were a kid, remember when you did the Elvis thing? We knew right then. I knew as the littlest thing I could remember that this was going to be what I did. Same. And I have to tell you, I have no education. Mm-hmm. I dropped out of school. I went to I got a bunch of credits from theater in some community college I did 150 shows with, but the fact of the matter is that was my training ground. And I never once said to myself, well, I might have gone and had to get another job, like I got a job at a car dealership, running their internet. I created their internet, but I did that, and they would say to me, "Oh, we love that you know this thing about the internet." And at the time, I didn't really know much. I just knew I could get into a space, and I knew enough. Mm-hmm. And then I sat in a room for 40 hours a week for about 2 years, learning exactly everything about internet marketing, SEO. Mm-hmm. And I did all this stuff, and they go, wow, you're really selling a lot of cars. How are you doing this? I went, well, because I am a nice guy, and I'm not trying to rip them off, and I know everything about the internet that needs to be known right now. Well, fast forward, is it useful now?
Yes.
Damn straight it is. So everything that I did, even if it was a downfall or a dip, I just looked at that in Inc. magazine and Fortune 500 and went, how do I apply this to my entertainment stuff? Mm-hmm. And, you can tell that as a performer that I have not given up because, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, I'm a professional magician, I'm a balloon artist, I'm a trick roper, I'm a gun spinner, I'm a whip artist, I spin hats, I dance, cicchetti ballet, tap, jazz, I sing, I act, I hosted. I worked for Fox Kids. I got world records. Is there any time in there you think I might have taken a break? No.
It doesn't really sound like it.
But I did that because I knew that if I needed something to fall back on, that I was a shitty waiter.
Yes.
I'm horrible. People will be like, man, that was the best experience we ever had. Our food was really cold and didn't get to us, but Will is awesome. And they go, cool, but we're a restaurant.
So it really doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Will, for no, but I'm totally getting what you're saying. I've never had that moment in my life as well. I've never thought about quitting this, but what I had to do, eventually like take on some other jobs, make out for a living, also get some other education into my head. So I thought, okay, I have to gain more money. I have to do some other things. And like you said, I always later on implemented all these extra experiences into my act, into my coaching services, into whatever I'm deploying creatively. So it's always part of the quest. That's what we're trying to say, right? It's always part of this journey, and never let your guard down. Always accept everything and just push forward, because eventually it will turn out to be very useful. I'm some sort of researcher, since I love history. I love archaeology, and I'm super passionate. Whenever I get the time, I study all the new discoveries and all that stuff, and I read a lot about history. And besides my wife, everybody was like, why are you so much into history? What is this? I mean, it's just a waste of time. It's past, and you're never going to use that anyway. And then I started coaching, and then all these things about history, about how everything came up, how the word actually evolved, how speaking the first theater pieces, all that stuff, actually I implemented it, and I realized so many things inside of scripts and screenplays that are based on those ancient rules in a way, and also how names behave and what they actually mean. So that stuff was super useful later on. And what I'm trying to say is, whether it is like a great physical skill, magical skill, or whether it's great knowledge that you have, you never know what type of knowledge can come in handy for your acting career, for your creative career, for your performance. Stick with your stuff, stick with your gut, stick with your passion, and stand up. And if you don't get a call, if you don't get booked, if you're not in for any show, then improve your skills, train.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, in my teens, I was a skater, half-pipe skater, stoner, Santa Cruz, California, dropping into pools, Dogtown skates.
Dogtown Z-Boys.
There you go. But, one thing that I did was, I had a Yamaha jacket, it was all ripped up, I was a stoner, and I walked into a magic shop. And I walked in this magic shop in this big carousel place, and I was about 16 or 17, and I started checking everything out. I'm like, this is pretty awesome. I've always liked magic anyway. And I started doing magic, and I have to tell you something. A magician came up to me one time, and he said, look, and he was really well known. He goes, if you want to be, because technically you're really good, but if you really want to be really good, learn how to be an actor. So I then, started doing theater, and he goes, because the best magicians, it's not about technical skills, it's about the performance. Well, the reason why I'm saying this is, turn that around and understand that the reason why actors are good actors are good at what they do is not only because they know what stage left and stage right, and they know camera right and left. It's because they have knowledge of history. It's because they read books. It's because they have other skills. It's because they can talk to people and listen.
Because they study life. Because they really get into the pores of the cells of what life is composed of.
Well,
and once they should.
I mean,
and once you get that, you're pretty much able to do pretty much everything, because you can simulate that in your brain, and then it becomes reality.
If you are lucky enough and you really engulf yourself into what you're trying to do, you should be a pretty interesting person to talk to.
Right.
I want to ask you a question about your life, but I want to just say this one last thing is that if you don't constantly have this thing in your chest that makes you either want to laugh or cry every moment, and you can't show me your arm and show goosebumps right now, you are doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
You need to find something that, if it's a woman or a man or whatever gives you that experience, that you go, I'm not working right now, but that's okay.
Yes.
Because I'm doing what I want. That's great.
100%.
You're not doing what you love, then get out.
So, man, just to finish this up, make our audience, tell them, where can they find them? What are you currently, where are you showing up? What's your show currently on Netflix? Give out some information, homepage.
Okay, well, first of all, before I do that, you and I are combining forces. You're there, I'm here, but eventually it will be working together, but we're still here. And the idea that you and I have, a philosophy is that we want to make the modern actor. And by that, it means that there's a lot more control as an actor you have. There's also a lot more responsibility you have. And the fact of the matter is that we want to, from whether it's learning how to do a monologue or a scene that you're going to do a self-tape with, or on my end, knowing that a self-tape and my room and my sound needs to be dialed in, and a tip like this, people go, how do you do self-taping if you don't have another actor because you live 2.5 hours from LA? I went, I have a teleprompter right there. Right. I read their lines. I do mine. I can do a script and get it in 10 minutes and do it. And then I voice over the lines. I just briefly scanned over one of my coaching things, but those are things that people go, oh my God, I never thought of that.
Right.
You and I have decided to help these people that are out there that are truly interested.
Can you say that again?
Truly interested and truly driven to do this, to be able to increase your odds, and that's what we're doing. How to get a hold of me? I've got a film on Netflix called The Killer or O Matador. I shot it. By the way, this whole thing was about how to work around the world, and most of the last 4 films I've done, a Disney thing called ABCD2 in India, Weston Ruthless, that's on Amazon.
Beautiful.
Netflix, 2 films I did in Brazil. One I did for China is called iBot. All done on me getting the audition myself and self-taping in here. And then they went, oh, you'd be awesome. Cool. My agent, of course, got their money because that's ethically and morally what I should do. Right. But what I'm saying and what we're saying is we're going to give you the skills and you're going to get out there and kick ass.
Kick ass all the time and constantly. Yes.
Yeah. In these types of shoes. But if you go to my Instagram, it's Will Roberts Actor. That's Will Roberts Actor. This will be on the lower thirds a bunch throughout the show. Will Roberts Actor. Or coaching-wise, it's Acting Career Coach. My website is actorwillroberts.com. I have like 9 websites, trickropers.com. Just go to actorwillroberts.com. Otherwise, send me a message. And really, I want to say this and really piss off a lot of the people that make a living off this coaching thing, but I spend a lot of time. I spent half an hour with a guy yesterday with a trick rope learning how to do something, and he paid this because it's okay. I don't want to say it's paying forward or moving forward or whatever that term is, but I'm doing this for a reason, and we've met each other for a reason, and we're going to help you all get shit done.
I couldn't say it better. Absolutely. No. It was
in Italian.
Yeah, you have to listen to Will Roberts. No, seriously. I think generosity pays off. Our job is based on generosity. What we're gonna teach people is to be generous with their talent, to not hide them, to not be ashamed of them, to not be scared of your calling, of the light that you want to emanate, that you have the right to express yourself, and it's good to stand there and make a fool of yourself sometimes, and get pissed sometimes and be angry sometimes, but in the end, we're gonna give you the methods and the tools to survive in this biz, to improve in this biz, and getting better with your craft day by day. And, basically also exchanging and learning from each other, because this is a never-ending learning process. We can learn from... Sometimes I watch kids play, it's like, I have to pick up on that. That is great. I'm going to steal that right away because that was huge. Some transitions they played, I thought, this is amazing. So we will never stop learning from each other. But what we're going to do is to make sure to get the information out, to get people going, to get them out of their bed and really work on themselves, because that's definitely going to make you happier. It is scientifically proven that the factor that is most highly correlated with happiness is the freedom of choice. if you get freedom of choices and control of your actions, with what you're doing and how you're improving, that is the factor most highly correlated with happiness. Not cars, not fame, not billboards. Like, these are secondary products, they're byproducts. They will eventually show up naturally, and when they do, actually you won't even notice, because you're so tied up with your work and so focused on delivering the best behavior possible in your life. So make sure to not think about the billboard. It's gonna drive you because it's beautiful, but actually what's gonna drive you is to improve and have that freedom of choices and improving your skills day by day. And I'm so thrilled that we met, that we can, melt and morph our passions together and deliver like a performance organism to people they can use whenever they want. And so this was episode number 1. Yes.
Let me end the show by saying that normally I always try in my show, because I have the radio show called Acting Up Radio, which you're on, and I always tell people that I'm going to give you a bit of free advice, because that's the best 4-letter word in the English language, free, and I want you to give a bit of free advice. I'll start off by saying, please give me any bit that they can take away from here and for free, that they can use today.
If you want to be
Can't think of anything.
Yes, absolutely. Right away, what comes into my mind is, you want to be an actor, or you are already an actor, then by all means, act whenever you get the chance to. Not only on stage, not only in the room, not only when you get called on set. Act whenever you get the chance to. Improve your skills every second that you got, especially in the beginnings. Like, boost your talent and explore yourself as much as you can.
Okay, my free advice is, if you are an actor, raise your hand. And here's something really important I see on Instagram all the time. People are not utilizing their Instagram because it is your calling card, your elevator pitch. And when I see people out there and I'm doing my broadcast, I go, hey, Joe 2468, what do you do? And Joe or Joan says, I'm an actor. And I'm like, why doesn't your screen name say Joe Actor 234? Because in a world where directors and casting people and creatives are on this thing, because Instagram is
so true.
Awesome.
So true.
When they're surfing through pictures and they see something, they go, there's a screenshot of a guy going, and you're like, wow, that's caught my eye. What's he? He's an actor. Let's look at that. The odds are better that they're going to stumble upon you and stay on the ground with you when they stumble, if you let them know what you are. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS method. My tip.
So keep it simple. Be aware. So have that self-awareness that you're an actor, and present that awareness to the whole wide world. And be proud of that. And also exercise and train your skills constantly. Don't ever stop. I never stop exercising my skills. I always have to put creativity into my daily habits, like amazing Will Roberts. And we're gonna leave you with this little balloon trick.
All right. Hey, thanks, man, for having me on the show.
It was my true pleasure, like unique pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, let us know in the comment section. Follow us, Will Roberts, the Coachmc on Instagram. Love this guy because there's no other chance than loving him. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody.